If it is a seasonal item, if it's a winter sweater or if it's a puffer vest or a certain jacket or even a Christmas shirt or sweater, think of the last season when you bring it out. Did you wear it?
Oh,
If so, how many times did you wear it?
yes.
Is that worth taking up space in your closet, especially fall winter stuff because it can be bulkier, right? Is that worth taking up space in your closet to wear it once in 3, 6 months?
Welcome to Reframe and Reclaim. We are Courtney Huckabee, a psychotherapist,
And Jen Harris, an interior designer
who have teamed up to reflect,
challenge.
and reframe your mindset in relationship with your personal belongings.
Join us as we discuss and declutter all of the stuff that keeps us stuck.
Learn to intentionally create environments with improved function and design that cultivate peace of mind. Find the reframe.
Start your reclaim. Hello and welcome to Reframe and Reclaim. I'm Jen Harris.
And I'm Courtney Huckabee.
And Courtney, spring is in the air. It's a change of seasons here. And I don't know about you, but I actually really love this time of year, being able to go into my closet and transition my fall clothes into my spring summer. And for those of you that don't know, we're in Texas. So really our spring, summer, fall is the same wardrobe compared to winter.
Right.
So I put up my winter clothes that I wear for 3 months, 1 month sometimes, and then bring out the rest of my year-round clothes.
Yes, I know in Texas, we're fortunate to not have the bitter cold, but we do have the extreme warm. And so most of our closet is going to be more of the, short sleeve shirts, tank tops if you have those good toned arms, those kinds of things. But yes, I'm trying to find out, we had sweater weather for a couple of months and today it's going to be, in the 70s, which is wonderful. But wait, where's all my clothes?
Yes. So I always do a big purge. I do this for my kids. I do this for myself. It's especially important with kids because I've had definite times where I bring out shorts or pants and it's like, oh, these are too short now, right? You keep them hoping just in case they still fit the next season, but they're done.
Or for us, when we've gone through the winter season where the big clothes can kind of cover up the extra pounds we put on,
yes.
And then it's like, oh, wait, these clothes are a little snug here and there. So tell us how you go through this, because I know this is a great system you have for your home.
Yes, well, I like to call those my hibernation clothes, and I think it's only natural. Our ancestors put on the weight in the fall because there wasn't anything growing, right? So I fully support this method of hibernation. Anyways, but yes, so as I'm going through and looking at my clothes, I'll pull them out for the next season. And some of the things that I always try to think about and some of the things I ask myself is, does this item match my current lifestyle and also my current fashion style? So has something gone out of trend, or is it something that I'm no longer needing anymore? Have I changed jobs? Have I transitioned from a corporate job to a remote working job? Do I have to go back into the office more often? Am I now having more childcare than I used to before? Am I taking care of my kids as opposed to working more hours? So taking into consideration those life changes that can happen and adjusting your wardrobe accordingly. And I will say, sometimes I kept, whenever I transitioned into being at home more with my kids, I kept my office stuff. But then 6 months later, I'm like, this is my life now, and I have confirmed this is my life change. It's not a transition. So I felt more confident getting rid of those items. So definitely doesn't match my current life chapter. If you've ever gone through the big nesting phase, if you're about to have a baby, I don't know about you, but I went through and I got rid of all my, 4-6 inch heels. I got rid of all my short dresses, and my feet were very happy about getting rid of the heels. But, sometimes things like that also push those transitions and those needs to purge and get rid of and declutter.
Yeah, I don't go through my closet as often as you do. I have a 2 times a year. Every 6 months I try to go through, just because my closet gets so overfilled. But I love this idea of by season, because then you can actually reclaim the space you need for the things in your closet. And so maybe I don't need those shorts for the next, couple of months. I can put them away. I can store them away for a moment. And so I like the idea of thinking of like just very brief current chapter too, not just like a life chapter change, but like, right now, I'm needing to put all of my sweaters away, and I can put them in storage or put them somewhere else than in my closet if there's extra space for that, to allow me to better find and weed through the spring things or the summer things that maybe I need to get rid of to see if, what I need for this new season.
For sure. And so one of the things I found that works really well for me is, and I know people up north who live in the bitter cold tend to do this more often, but since we have year-round temperatures most of the time, I would just leave all my clothes hanging and they would be in the same space. But then there would be all these clothes from fall and like heavy sweaters where I'm not using them this summer, and then it's just visual clutter.
Right.
So I started taking those down, putting them up, like you were saying, putting a bin. But I've also done that for things like Halloween shirts, Christmas shirts, like seasonal styled shirts. I keep those out so that way there's less visual clutter, and I don't have that old, I have nothing to wear just because everything looks the same,
I really like that idea because, we do that with our like holiday decorations. Like we have like autumn decorations, we have Christmas decorations. I don't do a whole lot of decorating for the spring or the summer, but we kind of put like clothes away too, like that are, for me, it's like my Christmas clothes go away with Christmas decorations. It's kind of strange to say that, but I have a really ugly Christmas sweater dress that I will only wear during the Christmas season. So it's not important for me to have that always up in my closet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then something else to think about, especially, you mentioned coming out of the hibernation mode and things don't fit quite as well, is do I still feel good in this outfit? You know, how do I feel, and go to the emotional side of it? Because let's be honest if we're truly being honest, the majority of us, if we haven't been decluttering and we haven't been doing this process very long, you are going to have more than enough clothes to wear. So to me, life is too short to wear something that you don't feel good in, that doesn't feel right, that you don't feel your best in. And so I would say get rid of the things that don't make you feel good. Or if they bring up a bad memory, get rid of those.
And I think that goes back to I don't have anything to wear. Maybe I do have something in my closet, but I just don't feel comfortable in it. Maybe, my tummy's a little tighter with this shirt or this dress. And there are great places to donate so other people can reuse these things. It's not wasteful. But also, if finances are a challenge, we do a lot of hand-me-downs or swaps with other friends. I'm like, hey, do you need this? I love this dress. And we've done this before with some of our projects of, where are people giving these things away? And then you do feel more confident in the clothes that you have, and then we can kind of go from there with, well, I have like 5 shirts to wear instead of like these 25 that I don't feel good in most of them.
And going along with that, something to think about that is how many of these items, this category, will I wear before I do laundry? So like, do I really need 30 pairs of workout pants, or do I really need 10? Because I'll be able to do laundry before I wear them again.
Or do I really need 5 because I just have athleisure wear?
Yeah.
And I want to be comfortable. And, after, the work week and I come home and put on my leisure wear, I can just wash laundry again. So I love that you talk about that too.
And one place I'm very guilty with this is like socks and underwear. Like I never am going to wear all the socks I have. I have, like my 7 pairs, and there's lots of days I don't even wear socks. But why do I have 20 pairs? With underwear, it's like I just kept it and bought new, but now there's 30 pairs. Do I need 30 pairs of underwear? No. So that's one place where I really try and scale back. And pajamas is another one where it just accumulates, right?
Yes.
And so
I don't know how these things accumulate so easily.
Right.
So easily.
My bank account can tell you. But and then another thing to think about if you feel good about it is, do you like the material? How does the material feel on you? Like, I remember when I was a kid, and I've seen this with my kids as well, if I put a sweater on that was itchy, it came off. If I put a shirt on and the tag is bothering me,
Yes.
it came off. And I'm like, nope, I'm done. And I was able to make really quick decisions. And I'm like, I'm not going to wear it. Let it go. But as an adult, I'm like, oh, but this pattern is so cute. I bought it for this reason. But am I really going to wear it?
I think that's the designer in you. You know, I think, you know, with aesthetics and, you know, color and, you know, all the schemes of all that. Because honestly, I'm kind of a, you know, I'm not a very sentimental person per se. Like, I love, you know, people and memories and those things. But as far as like objects and sentimentality, or like, you know, maybe I will come back to this. If something doesn't look good or feel good on me, I'm really quick to say, I'm going to give that to a family member. I'm going to donate that. But for my kid, I just cut out a tag.
Yeah.
A new shirt that we got, you know, it's a spring shirt. You know, he's a little bit bigger this spring than he was last spring. And he's just playing with this tag. And I'm like, do you want me to cut it out? And he's like, yeah. So we cut it out. No more playing with the tag. No more irritation. But there, you know, I do know there's a lot of people who say, but this isn't trend. Or maybe this will come back into trend.
Right.
Like what's happening with our high school clothes.
Yes, right.
I'm so glad I didn't keep those clothes for 20 years to just come back to, hopefully they don't have tears and rips and I can fit into them. But
Right.
It is happening.
Well, and I heard a stylist once say, I forget who it is, but they were saying when trends do come back, they're not exactly the same, right? They're
Right.
modified a little bit. And usually it's a little bit better or a little bit different. So even if you were to wear those same things again, it wouldn't match the existing trend.
Yes.
So, but you know, it's funny because for me, it's like, I see a lot of the trends come back and I'm like, ooh, I already did that once. And some of it was sus, as the kids say. You know? It's a
you're
little
on
questionable. I've been hanging around 8-year-olds too long. But, you know, it was questionable then. It's like, I don't really need to relive the slouch socks of the 80s. I loved it then in the early 90s, but I'm good now.
Me too.
But that goes into, does this pattern or color look good on me? So not everybody has the resources or time to do the color theory behind what looks good on you and what colors really look best and bring out your features. But, you know, just take the time, look in the mirror. Do you look washed out? Does it bring out the color of your eyes? Really think of the colors and the patterns and how they play off your complexion and your hair tone.
Yeah, my colorist is my husband. So I say, hey, how does this shirt look? And he's like, great. Or he'll be really honest and lovingly honest and be like, you know, that's not quite your, you know, style, or maybe that's not a good look on you. So if you have a trusted person, you know, a friend, a family member, you don't have to spend a lot of money on the colorist theory. But I will say, I do know black looks good on me. You know, I'm a little lighter skin tone, and so that kind of matches well together. But if you do find, like, you know, or I love this color, you know, there's a color that I really love, well, wear that color, right? Mm-hmm. But I do agree with that. I used to love this like mustard yellow sweater. It was so soft. I loved the pattern in it. And then I saw myself in it and I was like, I'm not a mustard yellow person. I mean, I love the color, just not on me. And so those are things that I love that you talk about.
Yes, just because it's your favorite color doesn't mean it's the best color for you.
Wearing all the time.
Yes, maybe it's an accessory, you know, maybe it's jewelry as opposed to like a whole shirt.
Or accents in your home.
Exactly.
That's what I do. Accents in my home.
It's also in this is this a trendy item or a classic piece? And really think about how many times am I going to wear it? And how many times am I going to be able to wear it while it's still useful? If it's something, you know, everything has a you know, component of an elastic or a nylon or a polyester in it. There's so many blends now in fabrics. And so is this item really going to last for when I'm going to be able to wear it next? So if it's in your aspirational closet of I'm going to fit in this in the next 6 months to a year, will the garment hold up in quality? Because everybody knows with fast fashion that quality of clothing has gone down. And so the things that we used to buy that would last 20 years are things from high school. The next generation, the things they buy in high school are not going to last for another 20 years. So really keep that in mind as you're going through. Mm-hmm. So, and will I wear it before it goes out of style? You know, going back to the trendiness of it. The other thing is, if it is a seasonal item, if it's a winter sweater, or if it's a puffer vest, or a certain jacket, or even a Christmas shirt or sweater, think of the last season when you bring it out. Did you wear it? Oh. If so, how many times did you wear it?
Yes.
Is that worth taking up space in your closet, especially fall, winter stuff, because it can be bulkier, right? Is that worth taking up space in your closet to wear it once in 3-6 months? You know, so being really critical about how often do I really, and just honest with yourself, how often do I really wear this item?
Yeah, so that's so every 6 months when I go through my closet, and I do it every 6 months because, you know, sometimes I buy new things and it gets overstuffed. And so I have a space allotment. I can't put more clothes in another closet. Like, this is my closet, this is my space.
Your physical boundary.
My physical boundary.
Yes.
But I like to use that rule. Did I wear this last winter? Did I wear this last summer? And if I didn't, then I have to wear it this winter or this summer. Mm-hmm. And if I don't, then my rule for myself to keep myself accountable is then I need to let it go. Because that's like 12 months of not being worn.
Yes.
And then it's like, okay, well, maybe I'll use it one day.
Right.
Right. Or maybe there's a specific event that'll be perfect for. And then at that time, you know, if it's something that is, you know, something that has, you know, great value and is classic, maybe that's one item you keep, but don't keep like 20 of those items.
And I think this is a really good beginning place to start. So if you haven't ever done this, or if you don't do this seasonally, and you do have a closet that is full, it is so important to take everything out and see exactly what you have. And the reason this is because then it makes a mental note of, I have seen this shirt. And then in 6 months when you come back, you can say, oh, I know I haven't worn this, or in a year. And so then you're holding yourself accountable, and you can really be honest if I wore this or not. Because if it's in the back of my closet in the abyss, and I don't know it, I'm like, well, I don't remember when I wore it, or I don't even know the item's there.
Or I forgot about it.
I forgot about it.
Right, right.
So really knowing what's in your closet and knowing when the last time you wore it was. I know there's the method of turning your hangers around in your closet so that way you see what you've actually worn. I've never done that method. I don't know if you have, or
it's too much work for me.
Exactly. That's all I do too.
But I will say, I also have a method of, in my closet and my son's closet as well, it kind of goes back and forth, but like if I've putting it back in my closet, I try to put it at the back side of my closet, or the back section. If it's like short sleeves, long sleeves, pants, whatever, put in the back. So like when I first go to look at that section, it's like, oh, I wore that. Am I going to wear one of these things I haven't worn in a while? Or does that pant always get passed up? Or that dress, you know, kind of get pushed to the, I hope I'll get to use it one day or wear it again. So that's a really great option of, you know, kind of that method of looking
and
at
I will
closet.
say that's, you know, one thing. And if you've seen the video on our social media page of my son's closet, you will see that they are organized very differently. So my older son loves everything by color, and that's how he chooses to dress. But my youngest son, I had it by color, and he kept wearing the same red shirts and would eventually get to yellow. But, you know, he was wearing the same thing every week. And so he's like, Mom, can you not put the clothes back there? Because he just grabs the first shirt and puts it on.
He's like, I like this shirt. I know I'm going to like whatever's in my closet. I'm going to look great for school.
Yes. And he's 6, and he's like, just put it at the back. So that's what we do. I take all the clean clothes and I just shove them in the back, and he filters through, which is great. Like, he's wearing everything he has. But for me, you know, going back to what you said earlier, you said it at the back, which I think is a great idea, because for me, I tend to go back to my favorite things. So even if it's there, it's like, if I have something similar, will I wear this, or am I always going to go to this other item?
Yeah.
You know, and so that was one thing I've just learned over the years, because I would have, you know, 4 purple shirts, but I don't wear purple shirts very often. So when I do, I'm always wearing this one, you know. I know purple's, big
My
for you.
favorites. I was like, oh, purple shirts. I actually only have 2 long sleeve purple shirts and a lot of purple t-shirts with my favorite university on it.
Nice.
And I do wear those.
You do.
I
you
do a lot.
And then kind of the last thing to wrap up as you're going through, if you're filtering through your items and asking all these questions and just really being honest with yourself, if there's an item you're on the fence about, would you feel better about this item hanging in your closet that you may potentially wear, or would you feel better knowing someone else is wearing it and enjoying it?
Right.
And so one of the things that's really helpful to kind of facilitate that process is have an empty box in your closet at all times if it's available. If not, have a donation station where you can constantly put things in. So if you see it, you can just grab it and throw it in and know it's going to be moving on to someone else who's going to use it before that elastic runs out, before, the seasons change.
And I love that system piece. Like, find a system that works for you. These are ideas. These are things to consider. But, whether it's flipping the hanger backwards or whether it's going through every season, winter, fall, spring, summer, whether it's going through once a year, whether it's going through and making those mental notes of putting things at the back of the closet, find a system that works for you. And that's what Reframe and Reclaim is all about. It's not like this is the one right way to do it. If it's not going to be something you can maintain or something that you're going to put into practice, don't try that, but find something that does work for you.
I mean, because let's be honest, if there was a one size fits all, there'd be one organizer who's a billionaire because they would have solved the problem for everybody. But everybody has different emotional needs. Right. They have different function they need, different systems that work for them, different personalities, different work styles, different lifestyles, kids, no kids. So there's so many factors that, influence our home environment. So really, taking into consideration what works for you.
Definitely. So. And again, those hangers backwards, that's too much work for me.
Me too.
But I can put clothes at the end of that section in the closet. That does.
So, Courtney, I did want to ask you, is there something in your closet that you have had trouble letting go of that you've kept for, 10, 20 years?
10 to 20 years. Let's see. I do know I have a very beautiful, classic blue dress that I purchased for a very important event, my college graduation. And it is, at the time, it was actually a size too big. And I was like, oh, great, I'll be able to wear this forever. And now it's a few sizes too small. But the reason I've kept this is because it is probably the most expensive piece of clothing I've ever purchased. I am not, just a little self-disclosure, I'm not a name brand person. I'm not a, certain store person. But this is from a very expensive store. I thought it was a great milestone. I was something to celebrate. But it was probably the most expensive item despite my wedding dress. And so for that reason, fingers crossed, I might get to wear it again one day. But I love the dress. It's beautiful. There's a lot of, I'm not a completely sentimental person, but my grandmother was there for my graduation. She got to see me in the dress. I wore it to a wedding of one of my very good friends, so it's been used a couple of times. I would love to use it again, wear it again, show it off. But that's one thing that's been stuck in my closet.
So how many times would you say you've worn it in the past since you've purchased it?
Since I purchased it, probably a good 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah, because it's a nice dress.
Yes,
you don't get to just wear it to go grocery shopping. But I did wear it to...
I would support that if you did.
Well, and you can. If you have a beautiful item that you want to show off, go show it off anywhere.
Go viral.
Yeah. What about you, Jen? Do you have anything in your closet?
I do. So I was in college. This was 2001, and it was around the time that Legally Blonde came out. And I did not realize this, but so when I was in London, there's little markets all on the street, and I found this super fluffy, fuzzy sweater hoodie with the zip up hoodie. And it's in this cranberry color, and I absolutely loved it. And so I bought it spring break 2001. And then Legally Blonde came out, and she wears the same thing in a slightly different color. And it's when she's doing her lawyer audition, and she's laying on the chaise lounge outside, and she has this, it's like she has a bikini on like under it, but it's like this big, just fuzzy, fluffy, it feels so soft and so good. But again, it was a smaller size, but I love it so much. And so I want to find someone that will love it as much as I do. I am ready to pass it on, but I just haven't found someone with the same aesthetic style and the right size that would love it.
Well, and it sounds like it's beautiful, it's comfortable, you felt good in it, but you haven't had an opportunity to wear it since Legally Blonde was popular.
It's a definite statement piece. Like, you walk in and everyone will see you. So it's a very fun sweater.
Aw, well, hopefully you'll get an opportunity to gift that to someone who can enjoy that fashion.
Maybe we'll make a social media post and see.
If you're interested in a cranberry colored fluffy hoodie.
Or just see if anybody can place the item. See if it's like, oh, that was from...
I love that.
I also have another pair. These I thrifted. I used to thrift shop a lot in high school. And they're these men's leisure pants that are this light blue plaid and have a slight bell-bottom flare, and I absolutely love them.
I remember that style. Yeah. I remember that trend. I had a few of those too.
And, we would wear it with like the big pants with the crop top and,
oh boy,
that kind of stuff. The little baby doll tees,
maybe
as they were
we should
called.
do a social media post of us wearing that same kind of fashion in our 40s. How does that look?
I think that would be phenomenal. Yes. And then we'll go grocery shopping. Done.
We hope this inspires you to reframe, think differently, change that mindset about your closet, about the clothes that you wear, about how things function in your space, and reclaim functional space that feels good to you. Thanks for joining us on our podcast, Reframe and Reclaim. Please leave us information, comments, feedback, or anything that you're working on in your personal space. We'd love to hear how your reframe and reclaim process is going for you.